Hey everybody, happy Read Across America. I just wanted to read a quick story for you. It's called Hooray for Fly Guy. A boy had a pet fly. He named him Fly Guy. Fly Guy could say the boy's name. Buzz. Chapter 1. Fly Guy went with Buzz to play football. Coach said, "We need one more player for the big game." Buzz said, "Fly Guy can play." Coach laughed. "Flies can't play football." Buzz said, "Fly Guy, show him what you can do." Fly Guy kicked the ball. Fly Guy went out for a pass. Fly Guy tried to tackle Buzz. "I was right," said Coach. "Flies can't play football, but he can come to the game." Chapter 2. It was the day before the big game. Buzz made a helmet for Fly Guy. They played football. They did jumping jacks. They planned a secret play. They made up a touchdown dance. They went to the big game. Coach said a new player joined our team. Fly Guy sat on the bench. The game started. His team scored. Fly Guy cheered. The other team scored. Fly Guy worried. The other team scored a lot. Chapter 3. Finally, there was 1 second left in the game. The other team was ahead. They were about to score again. And the new player was hurt. Coach said, "Okay, Fly Guy, you can play now. The game is lost anyway." Buzz said, "It's time for our secret play." Fly Guy went to the line. The other team snapped the ball to their quarterback. Fly Guy flew fast and straight. He flew right up the quarterback's nose. The boy dropped the ball. Buzz picked it up and ran. He scored! Fly Guy and Buzz did their touchdown dance. The team cheered. "We won! Hooray for Fly Guy!" Thank you for letting me read to you, everybody, and I hope you all have as much fun reading as I do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mrs. Ryan, and I'm a first grade teacher at PS number 2. And I'm going to read you one of my favorite books, Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs, as retold by Mo Willems, who's one of my favorite authors. And here's the title page. Once upon a time, there were 3 dinosaurs. Papa Dinosaur, Mama Dinosaur, and some other dinosaur who happened to be visiting from Norway. One day, for no particular reason, the 3 dinosaurs made up their beds, positioned their chairs just so, and cooked 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding at varying temperatures. "Oh boy," said Papa Dinosaur in his loud, booming voice. "It is finally time to leave and go to the, someplace else." "Yes," continued Mama Dinosaur. "He. I sure hope no innocent little succulent child happens by our unlocked home while we are, someplace else." Har, 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 har. Then the other dinosaur made a loud noise that sounded like a big evil laugh, but was probably just a polite Norwegian expression. The three dinosaurs went someplace else, and were definitely not hiding in the woods, waiting for an unsuspecting kid to come by. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, a poorly supervised little girl named Goldilocks came breezing along. Just then the forest boomed with what could have been a dinosaur yelling, "Gotcha!" But I'm pretty sure it was just the wind. The loud noise was immediately followed by another loud noise that kind of sounded like, "Be patient, Papa Dinosaur! The trap is not yet sprung." But that could have been a rock falling or a squirrel. And the signs say, 0.2 miles to trap. And then they crossed out trap and wrote, "Very nice home." Getting closer. Either way, Goldilocks was not the kind of girl who listened to anyone or anything. For example, Goldilocks never listened to warnings about the dangers of barging into strange, enormous houses. Welcome. Tee-hee. So, as soon as Goldilocks came across a strange, enormous house, she barged right in. Inside, Goldilocks immediately smelled the 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding. Said Goldilocks. "That chocolate pudding smells delicious. If only I could get all the way to the top of that counter." Then Goldilocks noticed a very tall ladder that just happened to be there and certainly wasn't put there on purpose. Goldilocks climbed up the ladder and found herself face to face with 3 gigantic bowls of chocolate pudding. The first bowl of chocolate pudding was too hot, but Goldilocks ate it anyway because, hey, it's chocolate pudding, right? The second bowl of chocolate pudding was too cold, but who cares about temperature when you got a big bowl of chocolate pudding? Not her. The third bowl of chocolate pudding was just right, but Goldilocks was on such a roll by now she hardly even noticed. Man, she's covered in chocolate pudding. Soon, Goldilocks was stuffed like one of those delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons, which, by the way, are totally not the favorite things in the whole wide world for hungry dinosaurs. Tired and groggy, Goldilocks noticed 3 chairs in the living room, so she climbed down the ladder and walked out of the kitchen. The first chair was too tall. The second chair was too tall. But the third chair was too tall. Goldilocks wasn't going to climb that high just to sit in some chair, so she hiked it over to the bedroom. When she got there, Goldilocks noticed that the beds were also gigantically big. "What is going on here?" groaned the exhausted little girl. "The bears that live here must be nuts." Just then, the room filled with a loud, booming noise that was either a passing truck or a dinosaur gloating, "A few more minutes and she'll be asleep. Delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons are yummier when they're well rested." Even a little girl who never listens to anyone or anything had to hear that. Goldilocks took a minute to stop and think, which was longer than she was used to stopping and thinking. Home, sweet dinosaur home. "Hey," she told herself, "this isn't some bear's house. This is some dinosaur's house." Wipe your talons. Say what you like about Goldilocks, but she was no fool. As quickly as she could, she ran to the back door and got out of there. Just then, a loud plane flew by, which sounded pretty much like a trio of dinosaurs yelling, "Now! Charge!" or the Norwegian expression for "Chewy bonbon time." Suddenly, and completely coincidentally, the 3 dinosaurs rushed through the front door. But they were too late. Goldilocks was gone, and all that was left in the house were 3 disappointed dinosaurs. The end. And the moral is, if you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. And the moral for the dinosaurs is, lock the back door. I hope you like this book as much as I do.
Hello everyone, I'm Sgt Shabazz of the Western New York Police Department, and today we're going to read to you Clark the Shark, written by Bruce Hell and illustrated by Guy Francis. In all the wide blue seas, in all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest and the strongest was Clark the Shark. Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Mrs. Inky Dink. He loved to play upsy downsy and spinner majig with his friends. Clark loved his life. School is awesome, shouted Clark the Shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the Shark. Munch your own lunch, said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, bellowed Clark the Shark. You're playing rough, Clark, cried the other kids. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud, he was too wild, he was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at circle time. Even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." One day, Clark asked Mrs. Inky Dink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inky Dink patted his fin. "Clark, sometimes you play too hard. You munch too hard, and gosh, you even help too hard." "But life is so exciting," said Clark. "There's a time and a place for everything," said Mrs. Inky Dink. "And sometimes the rule is stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey Mackerel. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "this isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule?" "Stay cool," said Clark. "Hey, that rhymes," he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. "Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time," he thought. The next day, he put his plan to work. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, "When teacher's talking, don't go walking." And what do you know? It worked. "Attaboy, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, "Only munch your own lunch." And it worked again. "Way to go, Clark," said his friends. Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. At playtime, Clark told himself, "Easy does it. That's the way. Then my friends will let me play." And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. "It's a new kid, and he looks scary," cried Joey Mackerel. "Swim for your lives!" The squid squashed the slide, and it stepped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. Wait, said Clark. He just wants to play. Let's find a way. And he swam at the new kid with all his might. Clark played harder than he had ever before. Upsy downsy and spin-a-majig. Why, he even made up a new game, Tell Wumpa Lumpus. Wow, that was fun, said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. If you want to come to school, you've got to stay cool, said Clark. That's right, Clark, said Mrs. Inky Dink, and thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid. Hooray for Clark the Shark, everyone cheered. That night, Clark's mother asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" "There's a time and a place for everything," Clark said. "Sometimes stay cool." And that, my friends, is the end of the book. Thank you for allowing me to read to you today. Happy Read Across America.